Please welcome, from Project Minnesota, Erik van Mechelen.
It's been great to catch up with a few of you. We've been in this fight for some time, and it's probably going to get more and more interesting as we go forward. I was speaking with my friend from Taiwan recently, where they just had an election, 24 million voters, ID, hand counted on paper, one day, 5 to 6 hours, and they had completed that process. I don't know about you, but I think we can do that here too, one day. What do you think? So my friend goes, you know, we like our process too, but when our preferred candidate doesn't win, we blame the Americans. And that got me thinking about who we blame for different things and so forth. But when I had a chance to meet James O'Keefe in 2022, I said, you know, James, I'm going to finish what you started in Minneapolis. Now, at that time, I didn't know what that job was going to look like, and what I found out was that I wouldn't have to do it alone. So some of you will remember what he did before he got bounced out of Project Veritas with the ballot harvesting, which we found in Minneapolis. Now, the good news for me was at that time I was getting involved. I was meeting people like Rick Weibel and Susan Smith, who were helping me understand the computer side of our elections, who were helping me understand the legal side. And then I was going to county commissioner meetings, town board meetings, city councils, meeting with staff, and learning more and more about the process, to the point that I ran for Secretary of State and saw how our political process works from that perspective as well. And what I learned is there's a lot of gaps in the information that gets to the public, and there's also a lot of interference. Now, you just heard Lori speak from Anoka, and just yesterday I put a post out on Project Minnesota, which is a citizen-led news site focused specifically on elections. We actually send emails to 1,700 city council, city staff, and town board supervisor and staff every few days with what we're learning, so that they can be informed, so they don't have to wait for that public comment period for you to show up and be engaged with them. Now, we'll extend that also out to the counties, as well as those county canvassing board members. Those are the 5 members of the county canvassing board in your county that no matter what happens in a few days, they will be responsible for certifying that election in your county. Now, historically, that's been somewhat of a rubber stamp, but I feel like it's my job and your job as well to be showing up in that meeting and asking certain questions. Now, we can help to educate you on what those questions might be, but when they say, or they're told, hey, this is a ministerial act, in other words, this is a rubber stamp, this is not something I need to give any thought to, maybe you'll be there to ask the question, which gets them thinking about what that responsibility looks like. Just as some of you who are election judges may think more and more carefully about the fact that the machines have been mandated, the fact that hand counting is no longer allowed by election judges, even though some of us were recommending that 2 years ago, right after the polls close. So those of you who are election judges will know, though, that you're asked to try to read the mind of those machines that are tabulating your votes. So much happens behind the scenes, whether it's in the absentee ballot boards for the mail-in process, whether it's the electronics. Just yesterday, the poll pad company, it's really a Microsoft Cloud issue, but the No Ink B Pro, which is used in Minnesota to check in voters. It also has a lot of other really nice features if you're interested in interfering with elections. That was down yesterday in South Dakota and shut down their early voting for a period of time. So that could also happen in Minnesota, and we want to be prepared to alert those. But I feel it's my role going forward to share what I've learned with all of you, but also continue to improve the information flow between us and between the local government and the people, because it's the people. As I wrap this up, the main thing that I want you to think about is, what is my responsibility to change our election process? It would be really nice if mail-in and electronics were banned federally. That would make our job a lot easier, but we still have a tremendous amount of work to do. So let's continue to focus on what we can each do individually to raise the awareness level so that we actually have real elections again. Thank you so much.